All right, y'all, we're gonna get this rolling. Today gonna be an interesting one. I know it was we kind of mentioned it in the last one, but we're gonna get more deep into it today. So I got a dope little video to play. It's pretty raw. It's like from the Joe Biden podcast. It should be very interesting. The little clip that they got for us.
Joe Biden got a podcast?
Yeah, Joe Biden got his new one, but this is like the video version.
The president?
No, Joe Biden.
Oh, Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. You know, I was like, Joe Biden. I said, white man got a okay.
The black version of him. He got a podcast.
Why did I get excited? I was like, wow, you choosing?
No, I'm not choosing no white man.
Yeah.
Educate us.
Y'all heard about the Queen?
Yeah.
Into that shit. Nevertheless, here we go. And hey, if anybody got anything like that, let me know and I'll pause it. We can discuss it.
How long? Oh, we're doing the whole 13?
Yeah, it's 13. Yeah, it can be raw.
Oh, it's gonna be raw.
Here we go.
Ice, you off mic. You were saying, well, no, that was on mic. I don't remember where it was, but you were saying how she needs to have a whole phase for you to like her or appreciate her.
You need to take it serious. You have to have had that whole phase at some point in your life.
Explain that to our viewing audience.
You have
and our listening audience.
You had to experiment with that and realize, okay, I'm done with it. I don't want to do it no more. You had to have tested the waters of the whole phase.
All right, here's my question to you. How did you find out? How did you find out, Mr. I don't want to know?
No, I would 100% just say, have you had a whole phase? I don't need details.
So you do want to know?
No, I want to know that you had it. I don't want to know what it entails.
That means you want to know.
You can
I want to know that you had it. Yes.
Let's be real.
So you want to know.
You can absolutely tell.
Hey, ISO for Parks. Hey, your play.
You think she
score?
You think she came up with these tricks just sitting at the crib alone?
She could have had a 15-year boyfriend and they did everything under the sun together.
That is true.
And you're sucking your teeth at that.
Yeah.
Why? ISO for Parks.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, no, I'm at the baseline.
A 15-year boyfriend, and she knows all these different tricks.
Yeah, that's what he just said. Why are you repeating him?
Because I'm just trying to make sure.
You've never heard that? Why are you
People watch porn. People are watching porn with their significant other.
There's a difference between watching.
Do you want to try? No, I'm saying, do you want to try that?
And there's a difference between doing one trick, like if she's been through a whole phase and she did it with one dude or whatever.
That's not
you're
a whole phase.
insinuating. Well, she tried all her sexual things with one person. Do you think that all those things, she figured out how to make that work for him? When she's been through a whole phase, this way doesn't work. Let me try it this way. It's the same move, but
I can do it
in
over
a
here
different way, in a different way, in a different way.
She's a little bit more seasoned.
Yes.
A little bit more seasoned.
She could be Lowry's with one nigga.
I disagree. Because that Lowry's is only for that one nigga.
Correct.
I know.
You don't
only
know how
like
to,
so much salt.
you don't know how to adapt on the fly if it's only been with one nigga the whole time.
Let me jump in. These niggas are idiots first. We all know that y'all are idiots. No, right? Let's go back.
Worse.
I know. I'm looking at, let's go here with the 15-year relationship.
Yeah.
You don't know what the boundaries were in that relationship.
That's true too.
What are you talking about?
You could have had a whole phase in that relationship.
Stop. Don't just talk over my amazing points I'm making. They could have fucked wild people, had threesomes, traveled, wild out. They could have explored in that relationship. Why do you diminish her experience because she was with one person?
I'm not diminishing her experience.
You're not acknowledging it.
You saying she?
I'm saying she did go.
You saying she couldn't have learned.
Diminishing shit.
You're saying she couldn't have learned in real time. She couldn't have learned on the fly because she was with one person and people are different. That's what you're saying.
But Joe, what if they was wild and open?
We need women here.
If they were wild and open and experimenting and all that, that's with other people. We saying with one person.
No, in a relationship.
Yeah, I don't care if it's been a relationship or they was just fucking together. We talk about one person versus being experienced with multiple people.
Somebody could have had.
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody could be. All right, we all around the same age. So for a woman, let's say she's 35. She could have been with 3 people in her whole life. And with those 3 people, she could be a fucking sex goddess. That does not constitute her having a whole
We want you two to respond to that direct point.
I don't know that can. I'm not saying it can't be possible. I just excuse me. I said I don't know if that can be possible.
That was louder than my scream, and you don't even know it.
You think if you was with one girl your entire life, you would eat pussy in mad different ways?
I said the girl could be 35 years old and she could have been with 3 men her whole life.
I don't mean what you mean sexually.
Wait, hold up. They keep trying. That's what I'm
Find a way
asking
to
you.
refute what you're saying. I'm back
Okay.
to the part.
Come on.
Yes, I do think that I could be with one person for 15 years and start doing something wrong and that she may not like, and that she could instruct me differently. I do think that could happen, and I could learn over the course of time.
Of course, but you
how-
would learn how to acquiesce to her needs,
Yep.
not to mad different needs.
That's true.
But guess what?
That's why I
When
said
you're with
Some
someone
women,
for a
hold on,
long
hold on.
time-
Let me get into this with him, man. Fuck this.
Go ahead.
Sometimes you meet somebody and you acquiescing to that person's needs fits you to a large blanket out there. Like
Sure.
the person that taught me how to have sex was far more experienced and she was older. And when I left that relationship, I kind of was to a large group of women. So
Okay.
that directly refutes what you're saying.
It doesn't.
How not so?
You're talking about that has nothing to do with what we're saying. You were with someone.
No, it do. Don't ignore it and get
I'm not
condescending.
ignoring it.
Address exactly what I'm saying. Your point was, hey, just because you're good with that person, that means you're good with that person. That has nothing to do for the rest of your sex career. I'm saying it can't.
You can know how to cook chicken for your family.
And a lot of other families
But a
like that chicken.
whole
Yeah.
bunch of other families
That
like
chicken
that
fuck
chicken.
with that.
That Popeye's recipe came from somewhere.
And Ice's whole point is null and void because he does want to know. He just don't want to know to a certain extent. Because he said he asked, yo, you had a whole phase or whatever the question is
So let me ask you,
that you come up
if
with.
she says, yo, if she says, describe what a whole phase is. Nigga, you know what a whole phase is.
See,
That-
look at these guys.
Yup.
I'm done with these guys.
No, I'm telling
I'm
you.
not saying no,
No,
ain't
I'm
no
saying
thing.
I'm having me. Listen, Ish.
Y'all just sound a little barbaric.
Excuse me, Ish. I'm telling you how that conversation goes.
Remember
If I say, you got a whole phase, just curious. What's a whole phase? Well, nigga, you know what a whole phase is. Stop
No, I
talking.
don't.
Tell me. All right, what's it? All right, cool. And that's it. All right, cool. I'll leave it at that. That's conversation
No,
over.
stop it.
I'll leave it at that.
This is foolish.
She can't be your girl then.
This is foolish.
I'll leave it at that. I'm asking
What
you.
does that mean?
No,
We're doing a
having
podcast. I'll leave it
I
at
know we're
that.
doing a podcast.
Don't
I'm
let
just
me out.
telling you that I will leave it at that. Okay, fine. You're playing like you don't know what a whole phase is. You know what the fuck a whole phase is. If you want to play dumb, cool, play dumb.
But communication is.
Play
How
dumb.
many sexually inexperienced women have you been with? A and B. How many of them were amazing at sex?
In my
What
life.
percentage? Yeah.
And this is our Wednesday, Paul.
All right, so let me go.
So y'all posturing.
No,
Let's hear some
fam.
numbers.
You know I'm not the panderer. Me?
Yeah, maybe, maybe it's first posturing. You're not
Halfway
pandering.
done, y'all. It's almost over.
I'm doing.
I'm pushing P. Anyway, what I'm saying is.
Oh, you getting younger and younger. Oh, shit, this nigga gonna get some youth before tour. We might have a good tour.
Yo,
after
come
all.
on, man.
Go
Yo,
get the shit off.
so listen,
Uh-huh.
if
Give him a muffin, yo.
nah,
Nah,
I'm
you
not trying.
been asking for a
I'm
muffin.
not trying. So my guy, right? Yo, if on average, if we really want to be honest, all of us have been sexually active and have a nice
Yes.
history,
Mhm.
resume.
I love a hoe.
Most girls,
I love a
most
hoe.
girls, and from what my female
But y'all
friends say,
can't assume where she got a hoe from. And that's what y'all keep saying. That's why y'all keep sounding stupid without knowing. You lay down with a woman. She's amazing at what she's doing. Your stupid guy brain is
no,
assuming.
no, no,
that
no,
she's
no, no,
a
no,
hoe.
no, 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 no.
That's how she.
That I ain't got nothing to do with that. What I'm saying is, I want you to have had a whole face and got it out your system to where you, okay, I did that, and I don't need to. I'm experienced it. I don't want it because what I don't want is the urge for the whole face to come while you with me.
But if that's
Because I believe you, every woman's gonna go through a whole phase at one point.
But if
I
that's-
believe it. I could be wrong.
However, if that's super
So?
important to you, then you don't stop at the information seeking at, oh, you don't know what a whole page is? I'm done.
No, I'm,
You can't tell me that that's super important and you not even get past the
Because
first
if she's
barrier
sitting
of
there-
communication.
if she's sitting there playing with me,
That don't tell you
acting-
nothing.
it don't. But I'll sit there and say, okay, obviously you don't want to have that conversation. Cool, we done. I don't need to talk about it no more.
So then you're
I'll leave
still
that alone.
adventuring
But you
on
said
your
you
journey without this information.
Yeah,
Okay.
you said you
I
can't be in
got
a
you.
relationship with a woman that has not had. I can't take her serious if she hasn't had a whole thing.
So
I stand on that, 100%.
So if she gives you the replies that I gave you, she's never gonna be taken serious.
We ain't gonna get but so far. If you want to play, you're playing like you don't know what a whole phase is. Everyone alive knows what a whole phase is. I'm gonna assume that.
True, yo. That's not
Okay,
true.
okay. But check this out. The women that I've come in contact with,
Or it
they know what a whole phase is.
Or it could be different to everybody. So that's why, so that's when I asked Ice, yo, describe what a whole phase is to me. He said, yo, you wanna play stupid? You know what a whole phase, no, it could be different.
Okay, well, check this
Well,
out.
our
The women that
definition-
I've asked, hold on, excuse me. The women that I've asked,
I get paid
Commercial break.
$10,000 a month to do what you are literally doing right now. watch videos on.
Ask that question too.
You think he get paid that much?
You say what?
Think that dude get paid that much in that commercial?
No, that's actually an ad. YouTube, they let people run ads. And the system right now, though, so far I know that it was said a lot. We can kind of stop it right there for now. But we'll go ahead since you want to kind of stop it.
Oh, I said that. I said that.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, I mean, the video, I feel like, you know, what that one guy was saying, the one in the green, right? Who's in the green. Him sitting there saying, like, you know, if you ever had a whole face, like, I'm not gonna fuck with her. Like, that's kind of like, I don't think that that's right. But then I also too kind of understand like why he says it, because he means like get it out, explore. And then I don't think, like, for how I look at sometimes the whole phase is not necessarily having sex. It just could be just dating around and just enjoying your time. But I know there's different levels to it, and I have lots of stories to tell y'all if I need to. But go ahead, guys.
Ashley Marie, what about you, Ashley? I know that video was probably a lot. You like, okay.
Yeah, no, I liked the little chubby guy with the bad sex game, with the posture. He was hitting it dead on the head. Like, what is a hoe phase? What is that? I'm that dumb bitch that would ask that, I guess. Because as soon as you had a hoe phase, what? What is that? I'm sorry, they don't talk about that in the Bible.
They don't.
Like, tell me what that means to you. So that was the best thing about that video, that I feel like that like I would be interested to know what the other green guy said.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna continue it on. What about you, Brian, so far listening to it, bro?
I don't even know what even was going on in that video, but I know I don't want no. I would deal with a girl with a whole face, but me for to take you serious, I don't really want a girl. But like Ashley say, what the hell is the whole face? So I guess once you break that down, then I guess you'll get a better understanding. But I don't really want a girl with the whole phase of what I guess us men would probably think a whole phase is. I want to hold some girl that don't really get around and did all of the extraness with all these different guys, you know.
And in the video, I mean, he kept saying too, like, what is a whole phase? Like, you know what a whole phase is. And it's like, it's basically a woman who's been, not to say ran through, but done it so much that she's calmed down her instincts. So he's looking at it in the sense of a guy whole phase. That's what I'm looking at, like that's what he's getting at.
But I feel like everybody's like definition is different. So it's just like whatever you consider a whole phase. Because like when I was in my whole phase or whatever, I was not sleeping with a lot of people. Like I wasn't doing all of that. The most I got up to is 3. That was it. That was it, and that was all within a year. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's not terrible compared to some other people. I have some homegirls one night stands and just randomly meeting a man, you know, Tinder people, all this extra stuff. So I just feel like everybody's whole phase is different. But I feel like, you know, for me, I know my particular whole phase, it was just me just dating and enjoying just, you know, company and seeing what's out there and seeing what I like and what I don't like. But go ahead, Ty.
Honestly, I think the way that they're going about it is very childish. It's very immature. Except for the guy in the green. I think he's the only one that's really trying to have a mature conversation. I think Joe Budden and the other dude are like very immature about it, which Joe Budden is immature in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's what I think about the video so far, is that you got one guy who's actually trying to get some clarity, like who's actually trying to have a real conversation. And the other two, they're being immature and childish about it.
Gotcha. Because doing the green, he definitely just making it very clear, like, bro, I mean, it's real simple. What is hope? We all know what that is. You have complete control over your physical nature, apparently is what he's probably getting at. And then whatever that's meant for you, however many guys that was for you, cool, you got it out your system. We ain't got to worry about that. But he needs to make sure that's been established versus being with a woman who never really got all that out of her system. He's like, I'm not about to waste my time, because we know it's going to come to a point that she might want to do some shit. So I get where he's coming from. That's probably what the whole phase in the sense of what it entitles me. But we can finish up the last little bit because I know everybody curious.
don't care about that video.
I know you don't,
I didn't.
but we need a little clarity. Just a little bit left and we done. A little bit. What up, Zozo? Shit.
She's still at.
Yes, she is.
Was either a yes or no? I haven't had nobody playing. I don't know. Come on, shorty. You had a whole phase. Like, I need to know.
You know what else, like, kind of
I
convoluted
did.
point?
Okay, cool.
A whole phase for a woman to a guy and a whole phase for a woman to a woman.
It's different.
Two totally
And that's
different.
why I said
I agree with you.
describe.
Different
If she
definitions. I agree with that.
can say to herself she's had a whole phase, I'm cool. That's good. That's all I needed.
Tell me what's a whole phase for a woman to you.
He said, everybody knows what it is.
That don't tell me nothing.
I agree.
That says
That's
nothing.
what I asked.
That says nothing. I'm
I agree.
asking for an answer to my question. What is a whole phase to you from a woman?
When she went
She
through
has
a
slept with
phase,
how
is-
many men in a
It
year?
ain't even a number. It is. I don't put a number on it. She went through a phase where she was cool. Like she might have one night, a couple times, or some. Yo, I just wanted to pop off. My sexual liberation phase, whatever they want to call it now. She did that.
You calling sexual liberation a whole phase?
Come on, man. Whatever they want to call it, yo.
Oh.
She's had a whole phase. I'm cool with it. I love it. Thank you. Please have had that. I won't take you seriously if you have it.
Well, a lot of girls, I don't
Please
think
don't
ever
call
go.
women
Sexual.
Sexual.
I'm not, yo, don't start shop. Stop trying to stop. Stop. I'm asking you to stop.
telling you something.
Yo.
That's a little nuts.
What I'm saying is this, every woman doesn't go through a whole phase. I don't believe that.
I do. At some point.
And again, I've been around the block. I put my name in the concrete. What I'm saying is, every woman does not go through a whole phase. Everybody.
That's your definition.
And I think they laid new concrete down after you did it.
They did. My fingerprint.
New niggas came.
Doing the
around.
green like, well, what the fuck,
Shout
bro?
out.
Man cement. Put man cement over your name,
No,
dog.
but yeah, they probably did. But what I'm saying is, I think that every woman doesn't go through a whole phase. I don't believe that. And I know I've known girls since middle school, my nigga, that I could damn near can't say concretely, but I know, roundabout the niggas that popped them because we was that close. You know what I'm saying? That I just don't believe that every woman goes through a whole phase.
That's cool. Again, call me naive, call me immature, whatever. I believe that everyone does, and I would prefer she has had that experience just enough to say, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. Because I don't want the urge to come while you're with me.
Let me ask you a question then.
That's all.
You get with her.
Got it out your system.
No, you get with her. And
I got mine out.
and she thought it was out of system. Same risk. She changed her mind now. So you are.
It can happen.
So it's the same exact
Look,
risk.
he's even running from your question.
I'm not, fam, I'm not putting no limitation on her. It can happen, but I like my
But
odds.
he's not asking you if it can happen.
I
He's
like my
asking you
odds, Joe.
To put yourself in the situation and take a second to explore, and you won't do that. You get all the
I
first
made chicken for your family. It was good chicken.
What?
Huh?
Yo, no, let me put myself in the
Some more white
equation.
people shit.
Hey, Joe,
Some more white people shit.
I put myself in the equation. Okay, she thought it was out. She wants to do it again. I can't stop her.
You're right. But
All right, but wait. So I gotta let that happen. I like my odds better if she's done it already. There's no guarantees in none of this shit.
I see what you're saying.
But I like my odds. I like the fact that, okay, you did it and I don't want to do it no more.
I don't want to-
If you didn't, you didn't. If you decide you want to do it again, there's nothing I can stop.
So
y'all
100%
last minute
of the women
dissect
been with
better.
that whole thing.
Seriously, yes.
And see, I'm contrastly different. I don't want no chick with a huge body count. That's not.
I don't, like I said, that doesn't necessarily
And I'm
constitute a
different,
whole
man.
phase.
I don't want.
I'm just saying, that's me. Because then but that's where the definition of whole comes in. And that's what I'm true, because a hold of me and a hold of Ice could be potentially different. So when a girl asks him, what do you mean whole phase? That is a legitimate question.
How
It's
long
not
is
the
the
girl
phase?
being coy or being playing dumb.
All right,
Freshman year in college.
Here's a question from y'all. I'm getting out of here. Is there a difference to y'all between a hoe and a bird?
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
because you could do bird like shit that don't even involve sex.
Yeah, they got nothing to do with that. You could just be a bird.
You could just be a classless tacky chick and you doing
But hoe
birds
to you has to involve sex.
to me. Yeah.
To all of you.
I don't know.
To me.
Well, all right. And just like how Zena kind of mentioned it, you can tell how guy perspectives on this shit is just totally different, but even more so you can tell which ones are more valid. in the yards. But Ashley, how did you feel about that video? Now it's done. It's done. That lasted.
Yeah, just out of that whole video, I'm just glad that he proved himself by saying like, yes, whole phase does not mean the same thing. It's not a common sense thing. You do need to explain what is a whole phase to you. Some people don't even consider having sex. Like if you sucking a dick, that's sex. Like I didn't cheat on you. Like we were just having a good time. Like people consider things very differently. So it is very, yeah, that is a valid question.
Can I ask a question? Why do men care about like body count?
We want a woman that's pure. We don't. I mean, the analogy of it. What did they say? A master key can open up a lot of locks. Is a great key, but a broken lock that any key can open out of is not valuable at all. I need to change the whole door frame. I need to change the whole door. If anything can get in there versus anything I put in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because you guys value a guy who has experience versus a guy who doesn't have experience.
Who said that?
I mean, typically a woman, let's get real now. For a woman, why would you rather a guy who's been in a relationship before versus a guy who hasn't been in a relationship?
I mean, I know that for me, my personal preference, I'd rather you had a little experience. But the thing is, if I had experience myself, why does it matter how many people I've had sex with before you?
It's a man thing. It's a man thing. No,
like, I'm just saying, I didn't learn how to ride.
I can say, well, I don't know about you guys when in a mentality, I can say this, that as a guy, if I know I'm with a woman who's been all over the place, Lord be, it's like I ain't really got nothing special like that. But some guys are like, I got something special because I didn't shut her down. I didn't cool. But the actuality of a man is like, I don't want something that everybody's had access to. That's just naturally, it just make me like, ugh. It's just principal woman, like I don't want a guy who's been around and bullshit. I know for me, I mean, that's just, it makes them like, damn, everybody got that stamp on him. He must be a really dope, powerful dude or a really dope, great guy for a lot of women to attract him. Versus a woman who a lot of guys attract to, I'm gonna get in, get out. I'm not gonna keep on that.
I have a double standard.
Because life is two different perspectives. We measure differently than women's measure differently.
Does any other guy want to speak? Because I feel like Caleb's very double standard with this one.
You just asked me what it meant to most guys. Like the most guys.
The only reason I'm saying that is because the fact of the matter is that I didn't learn how to suck your dick by sucking your dick one time. I had to suck a few dicks and watch a few porn videos and then some to learn how to master that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So only
time it matters is look, check this out. If you about to get serious with a man, once he find out you got a pass, he's like, oh shit, I don't know. Versus if you just keep it to yourself, like, cool, he would never know. He would never care. A man can't help but think like, damn, I've been with a girl who's been, you got experiences like that, but damn, she had free access. Just like how you guys, when we give you guys some new shit, it's new to y'all. Just like when you give us some shit like that, it's like, holy fuck. Every time I look at you, like, damn. Like for instance, for me, I'm like, shit, like glancing at mine, I'm like, oh man. I thought I shut the shit down. Once she let go, damn, she back in it. I'm like, oh, I didn't thought I contained something, but it's not the case. It'd be like that. But go ahead, Allah. I know you unmuted yourself, brother.
I was gonna say, personally, the older I get, the more I don't care about body count. Mm-hmm. That's just me. Like, I don't care what you did before me, especially if we just on some like having fun fucking shit. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, like. Somebody get, and if we want to go as far as like health concerns, like it don't matter how many people you have sex with. Like it could be somebody that didn't have sex with it could be a girl that has sex with 200 people that's more clean and more protected than a girl who's only had sex with 4 people. So like that's not even the case. Like it's just
porn stars.
I just feel like it's more of an ego thing. I feel like that's an ego thing. Like you had this many bodies, so like, damn, you're not really for me. Like this kind of like how Kayla was kind of explaining it, like the ideology, like, the status quo, like kind of how men are raised, like, oh, the woman is supposed to be the prized possession, like she's supposed to be pure and all of this shit. And it's like, dude, it's 2022, nobody's pure. Like, maybe that was the case back in 1950, but the world has evolved. And whether that's good or bad is up to everybody else. But in today's age, who gives a shit? Like literally, everybody's having sex. Everybody's doing all types of experimental, all types of shit. So The body count doesn't really necessarily matter for me. But I will say this though, it does. I know you guys will be like, what the fuck? It's the type of hoe. Okay, it's the type of hoe. There are types of hoes.
Yeah.
And her whole phase is like, I guess. And like, or as far as being sexually active, like a woman can be sexually active, but she could just be a chill girl who's just sexually active. But for me personally, if you're the type of hoe, or you go through the type of hoe phase or whatever, where it's like you're the type of hoe phase where like you're getting drunk every night and hooking up with people and shit like that, like you're sloppy drunk, like that kind of hoe phase, that's a problem. Like I think that's kind of a problem. Like
Every man does that though. Just like how you describe it. Every man assumes the worst for the whole phase. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know, we are conditioned in the sense of appreciating the woman for what she is, who she is. And you know, a great wholesome woman, even from your mom, is like that cool, is a woman who don't do all that shit like that. We condition that way throughout life. And this is because of our generation. We just got into this generation. We didn't got into this ball game, but we can't help all the conditions of what we done built up to. And a big thing, Todd, it's you right. Like that's men go straight to when you say whole face, oh, this bitch is out here sucking dicks left and right, orgies. We can't help but just go for the crazy mentality of like, damn, this shit fuck. You try to explain yourself. Nah, you ain't gonna tell me the truth. I know.
Yeah, you just automatically assume.
But I also
and so let me just quickly define what I think the whole phase is for me.
thank you.
What I think the whole phase is for both men and women is a time of self-autonomy. It's and when you're more accepting to exploring your self-autonomy. You're not committed to nothing. You're not committed to nobody. It doesn't have to involve sex, but if you're constantly, if this even goes to even a smaller scale, if you constantly in women's DMs, if you're constantly in dudes' DMs, and you just, you're in that exploratory phase where like, fuck it, I'm not committed to nobody. I'm talking to this person, that person. I'm exploring around. It might be sex, it might not be. It might just be some flirtatious shit or whatever. Like whenever you in that kind of mood of like just being exploratory and like really not giving a fuck and like just kind of living your best life.
Oh, okay.
I consider that to be a whole phase. Like because I feel like in order for the whole phase to be done, you have to have either met somebody to be like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, at least for the time being. Now, I don't know, maybe if it's for a lifetime, but this person that I'm meeting right now, I feel like is worthy of me not exploring so much. I want to give myself just to him or just to her for the time being, So that's what I would say my definition of the whole phase is.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking like, damn, I want to meet a woman like she had a small whole phase, like her whole phase, like, just real condensed. Because culture, that's like a culture thing too. Other cultures, like it might be in a spirit, but that girl done been conditioned with traditions and stuff.
What defines small hoe phase? What does that mean? Like what is that time frame? What does that mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's just something like dramatic. It's like we know the ultimate, like, God damn, like you would just been in the place. Compared to that versus small essence, a small percentage. Like you've been with 100 niggas in 1 year. Woo! Like, there's some talented women. There's some talented women like that. I don't know. You've been 100 men in the past 3 years. Shit, that sounds a lot too. Like, because women don't count one night stands. We know y'all don't be counting them because y'all forget about them. Oh,
I think certain women don't count that, but I know that certain women do count that because I mean, you insert
Is sex with a condom counted?
I think so. Yes.
What? Them combos time, man, they got their own talent mark. That's why we been in the whole thing.
Wait, hold on. You know what J. Cole said? You gotta multiply by 3. Whatever they say, you gotta multiply by 3 because it's about a third that they forgetting, man.
But I
don't forget who I fuck, but it's like sometimes.
Real quick though, I also too think that you make more mistakes when you haven't been experienced. So like when I say that, I mean like you're more likely to get an STI or some bullshit if you haven't really been like experienced like that. That's just how I feel about it. Like, go ahead, Ty.
I said I'd agree.
Yeah, because like I know, like in college I took a human sexuality class. Like I suggest anybody to take a class like that, even if you're not going for psychology or whatever. I suggest anybody take that because you learn so much. Like you really do. Like, and you don't even have to fuck people to learn these things. That's just all I'm saying. Like, but I do feel like the more experience you have, the less mistakes you make. That's just how I feel.
How y'all feeling, Brian, man? How y'all feeling, Brian and Zoe? I know y'all just looking like these motherfuckers.
Zoe has something to say.
You go first. I have
I
a
don't-
lot to say.
I don't have
Go
nothing.
ahead, go with it. Let it rip.
I want to hear about
Another
it.
woman.
Okay,
Okay.
November.
So first of all, I know a lot of people saying they're putting all women in category. Okay, I've never had a whole face. Any way you describe it, I've never once had a whole face. Never had the urge to have a whole face. And it's not saying it's like, you know, be cocky about it. I've never had it. So a lot of people say, you know, all women are gonna go through a whole face. I'm 99.9% sure I'm not gonna go.
Well, real quick, Zoe. Okay, so 2 questions I have for you.
Mhm.
Well, how would you describe a hoe phase in your own definition? And then how old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay.
And for me, I look at it as having sex. Like how do you explain it? How he explained it, sex and DMs, you know, just entertaining more than one person at a time.
Okay.
Through sex, through conversation, through, you know, emotional connections, like all of that.
Okay, because the only reason I'm asking that is because everybody's like definition is definitely different. Like I was telling you,
Right.
like for my whole phase, I wasn't fucking, but I definitely had a different date every day of the week type situation.
Yeah.
And that was my whole phase. I was getting multiple good morning texts. Girl, after I broke up with my boyfriend of like 4 years, I was like, what else shit?
Fuck these.
Right.
Right.
But that's all I wanted to know. But go ahead.
I've never had that. And like, I don't know who I had this conversation. I might have been with you, but a lot of people like to put all women in the category, like they were saying on the thing, like all women are destined to go through a whole phase or this and that. And I don't think that's true because I know the other guy in the video was like, he don't think every woman has a whole phase. And I think that's true because a lot of my friends that I know personally, they never had a whole phase. Yeah, we're still young, but they've never had one. They usually starts in freaking high school, you know? So they never had it. And I know they act like they won't ever have it. I don't think they will. But anyways, so that's one thing.
See your friends having a whole face?
No, like
That what you just
Madison and
said?
them.
Oh, those people.
Yeah, those are like my friends.
So I have another question for you, Zoe.
Yes.
In regards, and it's kind of personal, in regards to learning about sex, was it due to it just experiencing things or porn?
Experience. It's really all through him, honestly.
Okay.
When I met him, I wasn't like sexually knowledgeable. Like I knew about it, I had it before, but it was like some kiddie stuff. Like it wasn't for real. So like when I met him, I kind of learned a lot of stuff through him, and like he I don't want to say taught me, like, but yeah, like he just me doing stuff with him, and over time, like I just learned and experienced different things with him. But I know y'all had a point where y'all are talking about like, would we want a guy that is like had a whole phase? And he had asked me, and I was like, yeah and no. Like, yeah, it's good that he's experienced because I wasn't, so he was able to teach me in a way. But I also would have been totally fine if he wasn't, because we could have learned together, and I wouldn't have to deal with all these hoes that you done fucked. You know what I mean? So I would have been cool if he didn't either, because now I got all these. I can't go get my makeup done by someone because you don't have sex with her. I can't go get my wig done by this girl who had sex with her. Like, I can't get my makeup done because I might come back looking fucked up because I done stole her potential man or something. You know, like I wouldn't have to deal with that. But you know, it's like pros and cons, I guess. Like,
Bro, I'm sorry, man. The last just says Ron said some shit. Yeah. Ron was like, I had you, and I was like, what? Like you had a problem, you had an addiction. I'm glad in the walk, brother. That was funny though. That's funny.
Okay,
But,
so the men,
the men.
what was your whole phase? What
Brian?
was your whole phase? What did your whole phase consist of when you guys were going through your whole phase? Guys.
We can start with you, Brian.
yeah, Brian. Sorry.
I gotta start. It's a good time, man.
Oh.
Hey,
when he said, I go, like he was probably singing. I had okay. 'Cause I was all over the place with mine. Go ahead.
Killer funny, bro.
It was reckless.
Damn, I was all over the place. I wouldn't use mine, but go ahead, go ahead.
What we talking about now? What you asked Zena?
All the men, what was your whole phase when you went through your whole phase?
My whole phase was basically doing whatever I want and feeling like I was just on the world, you know, like talking to this girl. I can waste her time talking to this next girl, have sex with this girl, go out on a date with this girl, and just basically just doing whatever I want while in certain kind of relationships. So
Relations or
yeah.
relationships?
Ship.
Oh,
Ship.
okay. Correct, Brian.
And he was getting caught.
Yeah, thanks,
He had a
Brian.
he had a good thrill. I didn't have that type of thrill.
You was getting caught, Brian. How the fuck were you getting caught? You didn't care?
When you got caught, did you stop? That's the question.
Well,
Or did you look like a deer in headlights?
You're like,
a deer in the headlights. That's me.
Bro said, well.
You know, watch porn before. I guess I continue on. It was the girl you want to join. Like, what was your reaction? Yeah.
Oh.
Deer in the headlights. That's me.
A deer in
Like,
the
You
yeah.
just stop.
Oh,
And then
God.
2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, months later, back doing it again. Like, yeah, everything. The coast is clear. Let's go back and turn up.
So cheating
I like it.
wasn't for you,
Yeah,
okay?
cheat one for me. Yeah, I was a bad
Okay.
cheater.
What about you,
You know
Tom?
what? Hold on, I gotta change my definition a little bit real quick. Active sex has to be involved for you to have a whole phase, to me. Now it has to be, with multiple different people. Because just because you seeing multiple different people, that's just dating. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just dating. Like, you seeing different people, you going on different dates. Okay, y'all might have sex, you might not. It's really not that big of a deal. Like, maybe if you had a sex with, you know, like, it wasn't that big of a deal. But like, if you actively, like, if your intent is sex, there we go. There we go. That's my definition. If your intent is to have sex while entertaining multiple people, that is your whole phase. But if your intent is not just sex, you just dating. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just dating. You get to know people. You get to know what you like, what you don't like, that kind of stuff. So for me, my whole phase was definitely motherfucking from like high school all the way through college, for sure. You know, just typical young nigga shit, athlete shit. You know, like just being at parties, partying with the girls, whatever. I also said I never had a one night stand, but still, I was still like entertaining different women throughout this whole time. Just in a relationship, without a relationship, it didn't matter. Like I said, it's that kind of that that time of like social autonomy where it's like you feel like you're not committed to nobody, even if you are committed to somebody. Like, it's just that time of like you exploring, you entertaining. Your door is open for sexual entertainment, whether you got a partner or not. So yeah, I would say that was probably my whole phase, right until like probably like a little bit, like maybe a year after college.
Gotcha.
My whole phase ended in October 2020. Why y'all laughing?
October 2018. You like
2020. Yeah.
Okay, before
that-
Caleb goes real fast, Ashley, have you ever experienced a whole phase, or do you feel like you're experiencing it right now?
She always talk about a waterfall. I think she.
So I was about to tap into my whole phase real strong. Miss 21-year-old, I ain't never had no whole phase in my life. And I made 26 in June this year. I also ended a very abusive relationship that went on for like approximately 4 years. And about a month after, no, it was probably 2 weeks after the shit really hit the fan and that relationship was over. I just started, hey there, how are you? You know, I see you've been in my DMs. I've been real busy working out, you know, that type shit. And then next thing you know, it's like dates and all of that. And a little sticky and a little dicky here and there. And before I could really get rolling in my whole phase, I fell back into church. And so now I'm back in the church. And so I haven't collected a lot of dicks along that whole phase. Good, good thing. Whew. Because I'm little, so body count is high when you're little. It gets higher. You're like, damn. Looks a little dirtier. Big bitches can have a whole phase and get away with it. It's true. It is. It is very true. I'm just saying.
Oh God, I think this is the funniest treasure chest.
Yeah, they dirty bitch, you got high face. I expect that. You eat a lot.
Like I'm sorry, you're 5'11". You've had 20 dudes in the last 2 weeks. Oh, okay, you're kind of cute.
Yeah,
You're 4'9" and you had 6 men in the last month. Oh God, you're a hoe. It looks like that, I swear.
Yeah,
because they got a picture. They picture you getting thrown around. Like, come on.
Yeah, I was actually having that conversation today with my homegirl or whatever. I mentioned you, and I was saying that like I noticed that. Yeah, I did mention you. So I was talking about how like a lot of men. It seems like a lot of men like short girls. Like, and it seems like to me a lot of like athletic basketball, like big ass motherfuckers, it seems like they're the ones that want like the little girls. It just seems that way. That's just what I said. Cause I'm like, you were telling me how people are like kind of they gravitate to you, they want to hug you and they want to just be around you or whatever. I had a best friend like that. She was literally 4'9" and everybody was always just all over her. And I'm like, wow. Like, and it wasn't even me hating as a friend or whatever. It was just like, damn, like you're not okay with people just invading your space, like, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's why it seems like that to me. But I don't know, y'all guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it seems like.
Some guys like big girls.
Some guys do. Some guys they love to climb a fucking tree. Some of them love that.
I was just reminiscing on whenever a woman held me before and I was in her chest. Like I was like, in her chest. I'm like, wow, this is different.
She was rocking you.
She was thick too.
She was rocking you.
It was a romantic standing moment, the left, right.
You fell asleep on her bosom.
Hold on. You said a woman was holding you.
It was a hug, and
was it warm and just?
I'm just thinking about my whole face.
Did she smell like? Did she smell like sweet baked goods?
She was light skinned. She was very squishy.
Oh, okay. What did she smell like?
Anyway, let me get into it. I can definitely say my whole phase, it made me a master time management person. Like I was in my whole phase, I don't know about y'all, I was raw, not raw, whatever fuck, was all bets are off. Like I didn't give a fuck. I'm gonna be real with y'all.
He was reckless.
I was let loose and praise God. I'm here with all health, all strength, all toes, and everything. I'm good. No twitchies and nothing like that. Just having random allergic reactions, no big deal. But I can definitely say during mine, man, it was more excitement than anything. I would say because I was overseas with mine, so overseas is a different mentality. They love black men, but let alone my experience of other cultures and other women. It just fascinated me more because, like, obviously, too, whenever I was in my first relationship, when I lost my virginity when I was 18 to my first, and she was long distance, I was like, damn, once that man, and once you done ignited that, it's like, oh shit, all I can think about was sex, and I'm like, nah. So I educated myself, and I hired like 3 or 4 I hired 3 sex coaches, and then I learned all that shit, so I had all the knowledge. But then when Bahrain came, it was time to implement. The sad part is with my shit, I had a relationship the whole time. So I was really reckless as fuck out there. I didn't give a fuck. Look, Brian, yes, sir, I support it. I had no boundaries, no nothing. The wildest night I had was 3 women in 3 hours, and they all used the same towel to clean themselves. I didn't have no fucking filter at all.
The same towel?
Same towel, and I used a different one. I was like, damn, these nasty hoes, but they don't know no better. But anyways, I can definitely say for my shit, it took all of that to get out my system, not really. And then went to San Diego, and I still was here and there, it calmed it down. Then I got to a point like, you know what? I think I've done enough. I think I've accomplished. I just had a moment of acceptance. I think we all have a moment of acceptance. Like, you know what? I think I'm over all of that. You get to a point like you just want substance again. And so
glad I met you.
Yeah, I know you luckily met me at you met me when I was in the farmer rotation, but that was still.
No, I didn't. I was after.
Yeah, you met me following that. Like, yeah, when I became single officially, I got up to that amount, and then I met her and I kind of started to trick all that down. You know, you can see you
So
appreciate real.
happy.
But other than that, yeah, that was my shit. That's why I do what I do. I'm a little wild. But yeah, man. So Zoe, you was gonna get back into everything you was gonna say about the video and everything.
She had said something about, did you say something about your family or something not too long ago too?
Oh, yeah, maybe that's why I've never been around hoes in that sense. So that's probably why I've never been tempted to be like that. Like all my friends and like my family of grandmas, moms, aunts, cousins, like they're all very, I guess what you call wholesome and pure. So I guess that's why that was something I told him. I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah.
I have a question too, because I know when I was like 21, 22, whatever, I started finding shit out about my family. Like, and I'm like, y'all niggas is ratchet as fuck. Like for real. Like I was finding some shit out. So like, is people married in your family and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, and like divorce is not, say that again.
Everyone's pretty much married.
And divorce is not really a thing.
They're like real, like it's kind
They've been all
of being
married
around
since
them
I
is
was-
weird as hell because I come from
Okay.
the trenches. So
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, nothing wrong. I'm just saying, just it's another world with her found. Like I didn't think stuff like this exists, and it's like
What do you mean? What do you mean is weird? Like their beliefs of how people connecting together, or the building?
Okay.
all that. We come from somewhere that's toxic, and we don't. You know, we get married and stuff, but we still gonna cheat and still do whatever we want. So I come from that kind of like background,
And that was my mama's family. Like I found all that shit out once I got older. Like I didn't know about all these different little things. For years, I kid you not, I thought my mama only slept with my daddy. That was it. That was it and that was all. When I found out mama was doing X, Y, and Z prior to my father, you know what I mean? When I found the same thing out about my dad, I'm like, oh, y'all niggas is out here. Like it literally like blew my fucking mind. So I know like for me, like my family, there's a lot of fucking cheaters. There was a lot of hoes. There was a lot of babies. While other people were in marriages. That explains some of my cousins that came out of nowhere type situation. But I didn't question it because that's my cousin. You know what I mean? Like that's just family at the end of the day. So I just know for me, like I found out a lot of different things. I'm still finding out shit later on once I got older, but throughout my years when I was just, adolescent and stuff like that, my family definitely showed me from a lot of different things. And I grew up thinking that people were wholesome, holy, and then some, and come to find out they were ratchet, hoish, and then some. So,
I'm still learning how wholesome my family is. Like, I didn't know my aunt and my uncle, like my grandma's sisters. There's like 7 of my grandma's sisters, and like they've been married since high school. Like the guy that broke their virginity is their husband still to this day, and still like travel and have like the best relationship. Like it's crazy.
That's beautiful.
That's a different generation. If you look,
Right.
Yeah.
That's an different upbringing. We don't even see that shit nowadays.
So we here, oh my God, that's beautiful.
Anybody been together like 10 plus years? Damn, what the fuck wrong with y'all? Like, damn, that's crazy. Like, we get overwhelmed and it's sad. It really is sad. But just like how I sent that video to Brian earlier, that algorithm, they got us conditioned into seeing people breaking up dates and all this bullshit, people not connected and have that unity. We don't see that daily. So we already pre-programmed to not to.
Meanwhile, when I was in Head Start and stuff, I just always just thought I should have all the women I want. So,
hey, cheers.
No.
So you're a reformed hoe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Zoe, you didn't make that man see the light. Come on, man. See that's it's different when a man, you done shut that man down. That's a good feeling versus woman, I shut you down. I hope you don't fuck this up. I'm taking this chance on you. Like it's different with a woman, like, hey, I got him. I'm just saying. All right, Brian. Hey, Mr. Outlaw, bro. Let's start getting it nitty gritty. What do you think is your top 3 pros to being getting done with a whole fast? Or
getting done?
Top 3 benefits to do that or to be done with it, whatever fuck, whichever one you want to say.
Well, I guess I'll do both. I guess the top 3 things for a whole phase is number 1, unbelievable memories.
Yep, the pros. Okay.
Unbelievable memories.
Yes, man. Yes, Lord.
Number 2, I'd say you get to know yourself better. You know, both at least I'm speaking for men right now. At least for men, like the whole phase is like your time to like shine, like to really test your hand, like how like can you really get a woman? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't care what no men say. About 95% of men go through this shit. You gonna go through some shit where you want to test yourself, like, okay, how can I get women? Am I able to get a woman? Like, what kind of caliber of woman can I get? And how many of that caliber can I get? Like, you want to test your manhood, like, for sure. So like just seeing that, like seeing where you're at, like, damn, I could get this woman, I could get this kind of woman. Damn, like this kind of woman doesn't really gravitate to me, like that kind of shit. Like, so just knowing like
Todd, with that, man, it just made me think. I think every man naturally attracts a type of woman. Like for me, I attract fat hoes, and I attract fat women who just ready to get me, like, you know, really sexy. I attract
Big women.
big woman who's hungry to eat on something.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just like a natural
you
thing.
literally
I don't know.
said
That's just me.
fat
Well, you know, it's just nothing wrong with a little pushing for the cushion. I mean, whatever the saying is.
Pushing for the cushion.
Yep, there it is. So that's saying, like, nothing wrong with it. I never was knocked it, you know, but I'm just saying I naturally, like, every man has that natural aura. Like,
But I think also too, me being honest, like with you, Caleb, right? I think that bigger women may be attracted to you is because like you're a stocky dude. You know what I mean?
I don't think I'm that big.
But I'm just telling you from image wise, like I feel like they're attracted to you because you're a stocky dude. Okay, this man, if I decide to throw this big old thing back here on him, he can catch it. You know what I mean? Like
break it.
Like
that's why every time I go to the club, that's why my slogan is the dance of the fact, but they never dismiss me.
Like for me,
they always like, yes. And
I know when I was like dating, I attracted a lot of southern skinny dudes, like little twigs. I'm like, my thick ass and your thin ass. But I guess like that's just what it was.
You didn't feel that there was gonna be Speedy Gonzalez on you, like, you know, stamina. Okay.
Some of them were. Some of them were quick pumpers, and some of them were just just like.
I don't know. That's
I'm like, what is going on?
But anyways, Todd, go ahead. Sorry about that.
And then my third pro to going through a whole phase is also going through what you don't like. Like finding out what you do not like with like the types that you are not finna go for, like that kind of shit. And then the pros to getting out of the whole phase is number one, you come out with all that knowledge and experience. Number two, you're not wasting your time no more. Like you putting your time and energy into things that actually matter, things that are more wholesome, you know, not just thinking long term instead of just thinking about a memory, you know, a memorable moment. And then number three, for getting out of the whole phase, shit, on me, the peace of mind of sexual health. Facts. Like on me, if you have a sex with other people, at least for me personally, hey, that voice creep in my head, like, dang, like you may think you might got something, and that lack of peace of mind, that should be bothering you, man. Or like just the lack of peace of mind, thinking you got somebody pregnant and shit like that. Hey, when you not having sex, you don't got none of them peace of mind issues at all.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, that's the third thing.
That's a true statement for sure.
When I was in the ocean, I didn't know what was biting me or what was coming for me, but I know God is real. Everybody got their own testimony of God being real. In my testimony,
one of my homegirls,
I still operate perfectly fine in all categories.
One of my homegirls was talking about, I was reckless. I'm surprised I never got an STI, and I was like, bitch. What the what?
Speaking of that word, I only got one pregnant, and I was like, "My God, that's all it took for me."
The STI is pregnancy.
I was talking about woman, a bitch pregnant.
Oh,
and having one pregnant. I don't know about y'all. Todd, I'm curious. You ever had a scare like that, brother?
I've never got a girl pregnant, but I've had plenty of scares of thinking I got a girl pregnant, or she thought she was pregnant. And like the day that we was about to go see if she was pregnant, by the grace of God, she had that period, you dig? So
But let me ask you,
God has had his mercy
let
on
me
me.
ask you on something like that. Because before this happened to me, I always wondered to myself, does my shit work? So like to this day, do you think those spam work or don't work?
I'm gonna keep it real right now. I think it don't, and I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad. I'm glad. I don't want to get it checked out. I don't want to see if there's a problem to make it work. If my shit don't work by the grace of God. Holy Jesus passing over me. Do not let my joints work. Oh, me. Yeah, man.
That's the ultimate. That's why niggas need pills during that time.
Can we go around the room and like ask if anybody's ever had a pregnancy scare?
Uh-oh, here we go. Go ahead, Brian.
Brian's have you?
Yeah, I had 2 of them. But
Like
they
actually
said they was pregnant. They just murdered her, so I don't have nothing to do with that.
he said they murder her.
Wait, he said they're murderers. Oh God.
Definitely.
Did they give you no say so?
Nah, they let me know, but they was like, well, you always say how you didn't want kids, so I'll take it into my hands. But I wasn't gonna stop them. You know, so, but it's,
What about you, though?
Oh God.
With him, that's about it.
yeah, she always scared that she's gonna be pregnant all the time.
I might be pregnant now. Who knows?
Oh,
Okay.
well, amen.
Well,
Amen. Father.
Crypto ain't hit yet. I'm not ready, Caleb.
Hey, look, I told you once that shit pop. Look, listen. My year was 2 years. It might be next month. I don't know. You know, I ain't got shit to worry about. You know, at that point, and we can just drop my daycare sometime. You know, that's what about you, Ashley? Oh, Ashley.
She coming in right now.
She's stepping back. She's stepping.
I think she.
Well, what about you, Zena? Yeah, any pregnancy scares?
So I thought I had. Don't do that. Don't look at me like
No,
that.
I'm just making sure.
Don't do
I
that.
don't know if you're a master.
Yeah, what?
So we're going around the room asking about, has anybody had pregnancy scares within their, their sexual, experience? For me, I've thought I had one back in high school. I did, but then also too, I was very, very nervous about a lot of different things, and I was uneducated about sex. But other than that, no, this birth control strong, baby. This birth control strong. So, amen.
Help us have myself.
Yeah.
Tired don't work.
So good shit.
I know I'm marked. That's her. That ain't me. That's her. But anyway, go ahead, Ashley. What about you, Ashley?
Believe in that goddamn
Yeah,
pill.
yeah, her shit fucked with, not me.
Just, yeah, this shit.
I'm on birth control as well. I wasn't always on birth control. I have never had a pregnancy scare. Like I've had the weird thought, like, oh my God, what if I'm pregnant? But it wasn't like for a reason. It's just because I was paranoid and I didn't want to be pregnant by who I was dealing with. That's the part. You know, as a woman, you don't really worry about that unless you definitely with somebody you don't have no kid with.
You have no business being with.
Ooh-wee.
And
the last boy, I had an alarm set. Boop, I'm popping them on time every day. And if I forget, I'm taking 2.
But the funny thing is, like, for me, I can say for me, it's only been like 3 days late. I was just psyching my fucking self out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm the one that probably like prolonged that. So that's some darker hours when you get a woman. I don't know, for me, that was like, oh shit, I don't even like this girl.
I slept over a whole month. Like I didn't have no period for a month. I really
Hey man, Brian,
I would have sweating bullets.
Brian was on that road.
Birth control. I haven't been on birth
control.
For like 2 years. I haven't been on birth control. The only birth control I was on was the shot, and I got off of it because I gained so much weight. Like I was big, and like I don't know, just thinking about birth control, because the shots took my period away, and I was like, that cannot be healthy. Like as a woman, you're supposed to have a period. So I got off of the shot, and ever since then I've never been on birth control. And I don't know if that's TMI, but we don't use protection. So I'm like, I think I can't have kids.
I don't shoot the club up like that. It's probably like once a month, maybe. Just to play Russian roulette. I don't shoot the club.
And I've never and that's what I'm saying. Like, what if I can't have kids? It's been like 2 years of us like by faith.
The thing is, when a couple is actually trying, statistics say that it typically takes about 1.5 years. Okay, try log out. Anyway, it typically takes 1.5 years for a couple to get pregnant. If it's past 1.5 years and you guys are actually faithfully trying or whatever, that's when you need to go to a fertility clinic
Right.
and look into it or whatever. But since you guys are not necessarily trying or whatever, like it's not,
Big deal.
it's not a big deal. Now, if you guys are trying, that's when I'll be like, y'all need to like see what's
Right.
going on.
But then keep it in God's hand. Well,
Don't do that.
It's in God's hand right now, and
yeah.
Living in God's
It's
hands.
his time.
Oh,
It's
okay.
his time. He might surprise y'all.
All right.
Okay, who else? Is it my turn? What was it for? Oh,
what y'all was talking
we-
about?
we
That was
pregnancy.
the pregnancy scares. Or what about Plan B? That's no.
oh,
no.
Definitely pop the
That
plan.
don't count.
I mean, for me, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that doesn't count, but yeah, definitely Plan B has been involved.
But that was like, I can be honest, like that was high school because I didn't know no better. Because the thing is, like birth control, like even though I'm on birth control and all of that, but that's just not natural. Like it's just really not natural. It's not really good for us as women. It's good for us to take breaks if need be. Like that, I do firmly believe in that. And women that consistently pop birth control, I'm sorry, their uterus, not their uterus, they're probably the fucking fallopian tubes, the fucking ovaries, all that goddamn reproductive system is probably fucked up because consistently popping like Plan Bs. That's just me. That's how I feel.
Gotcha. All right, y'all, let's wrap up these key takeaways.
Well,
For
anybody else?
treasure chest in the dark. Treasure chest after dark.
Anybody else had a pregnancy scare? Taylor hasn't even talked.
Well,
Hi,
I'm
Taylor,
about to
baby.
we about to do this. The recording almost done. Let's knock out the recording right quick. Then we go treasure chest after dark. Ashley, what's your key takeaways, please?
Key takeaway. Boom. Again, like as far as when you're encountering someone, you have to explain what things are to you because there's only one you in this world, and I'm not inside of you yet. No, I'm just kidding. I was just doing a little joke, but anyway.
When you get inside,
I'm just kidding. It's not funny, but sorry. But I'm just saying, like, get to know what the other person's definitions, how they describe a whole face, how they describe good communication, all those things.
Gotcha. Well put. What about you, Zoe and Brian?
That's what I'm saying. I had something to say. I had blacked out.
You laughed.
No, that was pretty much mine too, like describing what a whole phase is and like knowing if you're accepting of your significant other have gone through the whole phase already, or if you would rather them not, things like that.
So communication and understanding about, I guess, a whole phase if there is one.
Brian better grow. He better grow. He better grow. He said communication, versification, yes.
He ain't looking too light skinned now. What about you, Miss Outlaw?
You talking about comprehension, all that.
Spelling words, didn't he? That shit crazy.
Oh man, I'd say my key takeaways of the whole phase topic is it's all good to have a whole phase.
Oh, shit.
There's pros and cons to having a whole phase, and it's just a good time to get to know yourself, So yeah, that's what I say my key takeaways is. I encourage everybody I encourage those that are not currently committed to have a whole phase.
Same.
What's your key takeaways?
Well, I mean, Ty kind of said that. Like, I encourage a whole face. Get to it. Like, only reason why I encourage it is because why not? Just enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? If you're not committed to anybody, if you haven't made that commitment to anybody, whatever, I definitely encourage that. Enjoy your time. Get the different experiences. You might meet some people along the way that actually might be, a good resource for you later on in life or whatever the case may be. That's another thing. That's another way I look at the whole phase as well. So that's just what it is for me. Just have fun, but don't hurt people's feelings along the way.
Yeah, that's my only regret with the whole phase thing being bad while trying to be committed to other people.
Yeah.
Instead of just having a whole phase and enjoy it singly.
And I mean, as long as you're acknowledging that now, that's growth. That's something better than most, you know what I mean? So.
Yep. This is how I'm gonna say it. I would say I encourage it. Looking back upon it, I'm like, shit. Only thing that I was really on was just trying new things at all times. And I felt like that new thing shit was based upon new energy. But when I realized the common denominator was me doing new shit. It could be the same woman, I just need to do shit. So I encourage making the whole phase, initiating your woman or even in your guy, but always doing new shit, exploring shit, new positions, the 365 positions. Hey, new rhythms and shit, new toys, new scenes, new role plays, all that shit. And start to make a schedule. If you want to make a schedule, because we can have a schedule sometime, but you still don't know what the fuck gonna happen. I can say like, I'm gonna do this, but then I hit up with some other shit. What the fuck? I would say make that whole phase in the sense of where whatever you're committed with or not committed with, even if you're in the streets, for me, what made me get so great at what I'm on is because I was doing new shit all the time, but even more so, I was like really having fun with it. So even with your person that you're with all the time, you may think you know their body, but once you expose to something new or experience something in a different way, like, damn, you didn't open up something different within me. I like this. So she could become a hoe for you, or you could become a hoe for him. So it's something definitely to think about. What?
Another thing I would say too, like if you're not really into the hoe phase or whatever, I do encourage like women especially learn your anatomy, learn your body. If that means, you know, getting a toy or whatever and doing that, get a toy and do that. If that means taking time to yourself in the bathroom and just kind of looking at yourself in the mirror, you know, looking down there in the mirror, whatever, do that. Because I feel like, unfortunate to say, you know, a lot of women don't learn their bodies until their 20s. And even then, they still don't really know what makes them tick and what doesn't make them tick.
Can I say something to you, Maya? Okay, me say something to you.
What is it? Tell me.
No.
Get y'all secret ass. Oh, Stein.
That was a different, sure, whatever.
I mean, it was, you know, I
Sure. I mean, you were gone.
I can't go too raw with y'all, but you good. All right, cool. So anyway, it's just more so. I'm raw over here. We all raw. No, it's just more so like, for instance, like that was like a while, like a year or so ago. Like whenever it's like the first time it happened.
No toys?
No, like no toys. So like, for instance, for me, I created a safe environment to be able to watch, aka see how she warms herself up and plays with herself, to see how she goes about exploring herself. And I take that information in so I can know how to do it.
But I can say that was more
every woman is different. So I got a whole database, a whole bunch of women's video more, so I want to see how she done it. So I created an environment. Most men will be weird watching women play with themselves in person and want to do something like cool. But for me, I was like really trying to understand and see what she was doing, how she was doing it. What was the biggest thing that she was touching herself to get herself to the right place. Every woman is by themselves, but in the sense of having it in a man's presence, I can do it obviously, but I still want to see her do it.
I can say too, when that did occur or whatever, that was like definitely a one-time thing. I can say it definitely was like when he was gone, that was more of a thing. Like, you know, just learning myself, playing with myself, touching my body in X, Y, and Z. And I can say I learned a lot of different things during that time. I believe, you know, you learned a lot of different things.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I see all the things.
So, you know, I do encourage that too, just just explore each other. You know what I mean? Like if that means caressing each other and touching each other softly or whatever, I definitely like suggest those kind of different little things, different kinks.
And the biggest thing too, y'all don't understand as the guys, even the woman, by you doing this off the wall shit, that person will never forget you. It'll be forever.
You always feel comfortable.
There's a lot of shit that she's experienced that she's never, ever experienced.
Yeah.
And it just makes it that much more of a connection, but even more so, it just shows how safe she is. And I appreciate that. And I take full responsibility to making sure she's safe and do some shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is the whole phase.